virtual general aviation aviator, and what you're looking at now is a blank screen because I've got an announcement to make. X-Plane 12 is out, at least not the production copy, but the open beta copy, which means that it's bound to have some issues that has to be resolved. So let's get X-Plane 12 started. I've got it installed, and this is the opening screen for X-Plane 12 now. In the past, the opening screen that X-Plane 12 has always displayed has always been the screen that we'll see throughout the life cycle of the product. So I don't suppose that this screen would be changing. All right, so let's go ahead and do a new flight here. And as you can see, the interface look almost exactly like the old interface. In fact, I've loaded up X-Plane, and a lot of it is based on X-Plane 11. Now, we are told that a lot of the stuff up under the hood has been rebuilt. So if the old engine was, say, a Volkswagen engine, then this new engine might be considered a Mercedes-Benz engine. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, so let's start out with something really basic. Let's get in the Steam version of the Skylight, the Cessna Skyhawk, and as as if any of you guys have watched my channel, you'll know that most of my flights have been based out of my home airport, which is KRDU or RDU, Raleigh Durham International. So that's the airport that I am going to stick with. Now, so without further ado, let's get it started. I was going to go into settings next, but I think I'll just wait and let you guys take a look. Now, I am letting it load in real time, so this is the actual time right now that it's taking X-Plane to load out of the box on my system. Your system could be faster or it could be slower, depending on your hardware. All right, so um, I started out with this guy running, and I wonder why that is. So let me just, the interface again is almost exactly like the X Plane 11 interface. And, from this perspective, with the exception of trees, it reminds me of X Plane 11. Okay, the the textures for the grass um, still has that X-Plane 11 texture, and the corners are still pretty sharp. It's I've always said that X-Plane 12 is never ever going to be a a Microsoft Flight Sim experience in terms of visuals. So it really isn't the visuals that drive this simulator so much as the flight model and the realism that you can get out of it. Now, let's see. Back up here, and I want to go into settings before we get started to let you see some of the settings for this thing. Now, as you can see, I've been working a little bit in the keyboard, and not keyboard, but the joystick assignments, because I had to set up these guys. I've got the CH pedals, the alpha, the honeycomb alpha flight yoke, and the honeycomb bravo throttle quadrant installed on my system. And X-Plane did see that automatically. However, I actually did have to go in and configure some stuff for the throttle quadrant. Now there is a program that I can probably run and help it configure stuff out of the box, um, which I just haven't gotten to. I just installed this yesterday, and I managed to take a quick flight last night. Um, but let's see, the other thing I wanted to share with you was my graphics settings. So right now, without running traffic global, I'm drawing the 3D parked aircraft here. I am using, let's see, I should change the base size of my font. Um, and let's see what happens with that. I never really increased that with X-Plane 12. I'm sorry, X-Plane 11. But um, I'm not even sure what effect that has. Um, let's see. I did change my default settings to. Uh, see what happened here. I think I just clicked off of X-Plane. Oh, okay. What it did is it changed the stuff that I just told it to change, and that caused it to resize on my recording software. So I wonder if I change it back, if it would. Well, actually, I don't think that's what I changed. I think what I accidentally changed was my my monitor. Let's see, click full screen. Yeah, so let me go back to 4K here. 3840 by 1260, and that should fill my screen back out. Okay, so let's see what happens here. And yeah, I think that fixed it. Okay, but that did that did cause some things to look differently on my screen. All right, so I'm gonna stay out of that while I'm making this video. All right, so general, I've not been in the general, but show clickable region. So it's pretty much the same as XP 11. Remove flying surfaces when over G limits. I usually keep my damage turned on. And let's see, show instruments, instructions. Yeah, so I'm pretty much saying the same thing. Sound. Right now, I've got everything turned up to max. Graphics, we just went through. Network, I haven't connected my iPad or anything outside my network. Data output, let's turn our frame rate back on. I'm seeing 78 frames per second right now, and that's with graphics turned pretty much all the way up. Let's see what this ambient occlusion is on the SSO. I actually don't recall what that is. Increasing this slider will increase the quality of ambient occlusion, which are shadows generated by the close proximity of other objects. And that um, puts more of a, well, that puts more of a strain on my graphics card. Everything on my left does put stuff, put this the strain on my graphics card, and stuff on my right put strains on my CPU. Let's see, rendering distance I've got set high. Anyway, yeah, so this is what I've got. Joystick, we've looked at. Keyboard, pretty much the same. And VR hardware. I do have the Oculus Rift, but that's not going to pertain to this video. Okay, so let's get back in the aircraft. and the hotkeys, everything that worked in the previous version appear to work here. Let's see, let's get out of the aircraft right quickly, and let's go over here and look at these trees because they were a big deal. And I can look at them and see that winds are calm because they're not swaying. That gives us an opportunity to do some experimenting. So let's do a wind layer, and let's set winds at 25 knots. Let's go for it. All right, and jump out here and apply those changes and look at the trees. Wow, did you see that, guys? 25 knot winds, and we can change let's change the direction. Let's see, so this right here, and the direction of the winds. Okay, and apply those changes. And they should be, well, they're probably pointing towards me now. So I got the direction of the wind straight at me pretty much. All right, so it's raining in my neck of the woods today. So let's, wrong button. So let's try real weather here. Let's see, customize, download real weather, and we've got now we've got multiple wind levels up to 40,000 feet, which is something that we had in Explain 11, but we didn't have this many levers where we could actually do so much fine tuning of the weather. So that is fantastic. Okay, let's apply that, and yeah. So I don't know if you can hear. Let me turn my volume up. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but I do hear something in the background, and it should be wind. And out of the box, lip rain work. This rain effects is based on lip rain that was that was an add-on for XP11 only while it was running OpenGL. So it's great to see rain on the windshield. All right, so let's get started here. Let's get this guy started. And let's see. Now I'm the only one at the airport, so and just out of good form, let me move to a tarmac or the parking ramp, the apron, or whatever your favorite words are. Now I keep starting up. Let's see. Let me go to customize here. Yeah, start with engines running and apply that change. So it looks like it's starting with engine running out of the box. So that's something that you will want to go and turn off once you get started with Explain. Um, if you don't want to, if you actually want to start cold and dark here. Okay, so let's check our throttles here. Fuel is on, shut off is pushed in, mags are hot. Let's cool them down, and let's take this off. Let's get our lights reset. Beacon is on. Master can come on. All right, and let's see if the default door open. Oh, cool. Prop clear. And yeah, so I'm not sure. Let's see, how do you shut it? I'm not sure that the door opened and closed on the default on the other default aircraft. Laminar did say that they were. Let's see, I don't like my FOV here. Laminar, I think they did say that they were. Now I want to close it here. Let's try pointing down. Get, yeah. All right, so I don't want this video to be too long, but yeah, let's see. All right, so it's just a matter of finding the right click spot. There we go. All right, so I read it. Yeah, clear prop. Get back. Make sure that I'm in the right place. I look like I should be over about right here, and I like being able to see the column of the aircraft when I'm flying this particular aircraft. Okay, so the power is on, and um, I've got negative amps. Okay, so I'm not gonna worry about that. All right, so let's go mixture for rich. Let's prime it. 1001, 1002, 1003. I don't see fuel flowing in my window here, but maybe it doesn't have to. All right, let's crack the throttle and let's go full rich and let's do this. And we've got a good start. Directional gyro. Alright, let's turn the alternator on, get rid of that voltage, make sure our brake is set. I'm holding the toe brakes at the moment. And I've got a lot of throttle here, so I may have cracked it too much. Oil pressure is in the green. And let's set the brake. Okay, brake is set. And let's turn on our taxi light and turn on our avionics. All right, looking good, as we knew we should. Let's put in 10 degrees of flaps, and we're not going to do a run up. Let's align our gyro. Okay, we did get a warning about that on startup. We had what, 23. All right, and let's get our weather. Let's see, let's pop that in and turn on COM2.
Rory Durham International Information Mike 1715 Zulu arriving runways 23 right, 23 left, departing runways 23 right, 23 left, weather, wind 200 degrees at 5 knots, visibility 7 miles, rain, sky conditions overcast at 800, temperature 24, dew point 22, altimeter 2998, advise on initial contact you have information Mike.
Okay, we've got Mike. All right, and I did make some notes here. Let's turn this guy off.
Rory Durham International Information Mike.
And of course, we would turn to clearance delivery at KRDU, and then get clearance to tail clearance delivery out in 10, and then we'd turn to ground and get permission to taxi. Let's see, ground is 121.9 for getting that in 121.9, and yeah, so I feel like right now, I'm in X-plane 11. 121.9, and hitting the wrong buttons, and then 127. Let's see, I got the light on. This light is hard to see, but it is illuminated, so keep that in mind. All right, 127.45. Okay, I have to remember what these frequencies are. 127.45 and 127. There we go. All right, and and I probably need to figure out a way to probably need to save this view so when I reset it, I come back here anyway. Um, so I don't have any plugins at all running, which might account for my decent frame rate. In fact, I just looked at my frame rate now and I'm running about 48. But I do have this cloud overcast and that's a pretty good hit, I believe, for this computer. All right, so let's release the brakes and Raleigh Brown Cessna 175 Foxtrot Whiskey request taxi to runway 23 right. 175 Foxtrot Whiskey. 23 right or 23 left. The airport's going to be on the right side of us. Okay, so it's 23 right. All right, so let's see. 2998 is the altimeter. 2992 is what's in the box. And 2998. All right. All right, so let's make this happen. All right, so brake is released. And now, one thing that I can tell you that I noticed on X-Plane 11, when I released the brake, the aircraft would automatically start to move forward. I literally have to give this one some throttle to start it moving. So that's a little different. All right, so let's see. Where is two on runway? Let's get. All right, so I think. Park traffic. So, okay. Yeah, wasn't finding my orientation. All right. So, taxi lights are on. Now, once I get the scenery packages installed for this package, then I'm sure it's going to be a lot better. In fact, I reached out to Fear there yesterday, and I was surprised when they told me that they are not working on an update for X-Plane 12 yet for KRDU. So that surprises me. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised because for every one user for X-Plane, there are 5 users for Microsoft Flight Sim. So it's a lot more profitable for them to develop for Microsoft Flight Sim. I didn't clear to my right. I don't have quick look set up, but it's a lot more profitable for Field there and other scenery package makers who have migrated to Microsoft Flight Sim to just stick with them and kind of ignore X-Plane for the time being. And based on the scenery, I can tell you that I don't think X-Plane is going to really pick up a lot more users with this release. If you really want the scenery. All right, so landing lights on, strobe lights on, taxi lights off. I did this backwards. Raleigh Tower, Cessna 175 Foxtrot Whiskey, holding short runway 23 right, ready to depart, close traffic. And clear for takeoff, 23 right, 75 Fox Rebels. All right, so I got that. Got my calls made, and let's get out of here. Flaps in, trim, set for takeoff, and look over that column point, slide the heading book. Now, I was I was hoping that I could align this at a glance. All right, here we go. And let's do full power. And I've got a lot of left turning tendency torque. I mean, I'm having to give it a whole lot of right rudder. That was too much. All right. Power is 4. 6. Take. So clouds at a cylinder we're at 800. So I should be up in the clouds momentarily. So this is probably not the best day to do touch and goes at RDU. Alright, so my trim wheel is working. Try to trim for the best climb here. Why? It's about 7. So let's go and make this turn. Now I'm at 800 feet, so I should be at the bottom of the clouds. And 1500 is what we're looking for. I can tell she does feel a lot different than X-Plane 11. I can feel the atmosphere a lot more. I do. Let me turn on my yoke because my inputs. So it looks like the cylinders are at 1500. But I can feel a lot more of the inputs on my yoke. Now that I pull back on that power, I'm able to come off those rubbers because since I'm not firewalled, I got a little less left turning tendency. I'm not going to do a touch and go, do a full stop. Probably tower, ladders, Cessna 75 Fox Rebels. Yeah, for the opportunity, just full stop, 5 Fox Rebels. Let the tower go. 10 hills. Alright, let's transition to landing configuration. First flaps. Let's drop that load for about 500 feet a minute. Trim. Trim for 500. Let's unfortunately, I'm having to watch my head and bug to find base. And there's my base. Oh wow, I'm way off track. So what we do here, of course, with the head tower, keep that from happening. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I don't want to. This isn't about doing the flight. This is about playing around and noticing what's in the sim. I tell you what, let's jump to another aircraft. In fact, yeah, let's actually look at some of the new aircraft that's available by default. All right, so flight configuration and margin of VFR overcast. Yeah, we knew that. Okay, so we've got the Airbus A300, which is new. We've always had the 737-8, which is what the Zebo is based on, and the MD-82, the MD-80. The Baron is not new. I'm just going to mention what's new. So the Cessna Citation is new. The Cirrus SR-22 is new. The Lancar, the Lancar, the Lan, the Lance, the Lancar Evolution is new, and the RV-10 is new. Um, the I I I don't know if the Robinsons are new, but I see that they're in beta, so they may very well be. Um, I think we've had the F-14. Um, maybe no, I think the F-14 is new. The Phantom is was existing. Yeah, the F-14 is new. I remember. Um, I think when X-Plane was first announced, that was one of the aircraft that they highlighted. And yeah, so I don't know if this ultralight is new, but yeah. So let's pick this citation. All right, and let's go back to landmark. Let's make sure that it's not starting with engines running. Okay, and let's go in. Let's I almost said go ahead. Um, well, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. And I always say that with one word. Let's go ahead. All right, so let's change this to manual. And now we got some presets here. And let's do a few VFR clouds. All right, and we got clouds at about 10.5 ceilings. This should be broken. And yeah, no precipitation. And I think wave height can go up to 6 feet on the water. How about that? But let's put it back to where they had it. Wind direction. Let's see. Do we have any winds? Precipitation. Um, seven. No, let's see. Wind direction. Okay, we don't have wind. So let's just add a quick layer of wind. Let's add winds at let's do 7 knots. Um, and just some mild turbulence and no shear. Okay, let's just take that for right now. And the winds are, let's see, we put them in, um, they popped in at about 3,500 feet. So let's just lower that to about 25. All right. And default. So let's see. We've got different liveries. And let me just do the blue lines. That look pretty good. And time of day. Let's go real time. And September 6th. Okay. And 8:48 a.m. local. Okay. All right. Let's make this happen. And we get to see how quickly it load these new parameters. It's probably pretty slow. So rather than hold you up with that, let's just, okay. So the citation X is loaded in, and let's take a look at it. The citation, now a guy that I have spoken with over the internet who flies one of these says that it's colloquially called the 10. So the 10 is in. And look at those big, huge jets. This guy used to be the fastest um, civil aviation jet for general aviation available. Let's see, I stuck pop behind a building there. Okay, so let's see what it takes to get this guy started. You know what? I don't know if I want to run through a startup, so I am gonna forego running through the startup and see if we can't just do a quick start on it. Let it start itself. Sure that those work. So she's doing a self start, and I got one jet engine I think is running already. Look at my NGs and see which one is running. Let's see. Let's get it. Okay, I think we got one coming up now. Let's get this out of the way. There we go. Oil pressure, hydraulics, fuel, engine. Okay. Okay, there's my engine, but I'm not sure how you tell which engine is starting. But I like the way they starting it up. Look like they actually running through the startup process as opposed to just boom, it's running. So that's pretty cool. Engine, let's see, so normal fuel, electric, control surfaces, message, like PDF. Okay, this is on the this is in the middle. Set up. So turn MDF setup. So range. Alright. So arrow. Do it. No, it's 2998. At least it was when we flew the other aircraft. But we got two jet engines. Well, we got both engines I'm not sure both of them are running. Yep, both of them are running. Okay, I'm sure now. Um, but I don't know enough about this jet to be able to look at the primary flight display, the PFD, to determine which engine is which. And um, more will be more will be revealed. Man, I tell you, I've got some really good stuff going on with my flight sim. The reason I say that is because I've got I recently, well, I just got the the Challenger 650. I think it's about 7 months old now, but for me, it's still brand new. And I am still working through the checklist. I have worked through it enough to get it started. What's going on with the angle of attack here? Yeah, not sure what's going on with that. Might be the winds. Um, but anyway, and I got this aircraft. Of course, they right now they're in two separate sims. I can hardly wait the to the developers start making some of the add-ons that I own available for this sim. And chances are, guys, for me, most likely I am going to stick with X-Plane being my sim of choice. Even though I have been doing a few more flights in Microsoft Flight Sim because I've been able to get some stuff resolved that was causing me to have trouble um, with it before. Okay, so I know what these balls are. Those are something you line up. So right now, I think when this ball is in the dead center, right here, then I'm centered. I'm at a, I'm where I want to be in my seat. Okay, so let's just get this guy in the air. No ATC or anything. Oh, speaking of ATC, this guy, this we do have ATC, right? So let's go here. Radio check.
Raleigh Durham International Ground. November 750 X-ray Papa. Radio check.
Oh, that was loud. Let's turn the radio down a little bit. Sound and let's turn the exterior and the interior down a little bit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Loud and clear. Request VFR departure. Uh, Departing to. And let's see if we can tell it close traffic. I don't know that we can. Not yet, anyway. So so we'll just pick one. Let's see. Closed traffic is the same as remaining in the pattern. All right, so if we take off on two, well, let's see. I I'm running real world weather, and I believe we're gonna take off. They would give us 2-3 right now. 2-3 is to the it's to the southwest, pretty much. So
Raleigh Durham International Ground.
well,
0 X-ray Papa.
they mean to do
Request
that.
departure to the northwest.
0, X-ray Papa. Runway 05 left. Taxi via Juliet 1. Juliet, Charlie,
Well,
Foxtrot,
it
Tango
was
8, Bravo, and Bravo 1. Hold short of runway 05 left.
Runway 05 left. Taxi via Juliet 1. Juliet, Charlie, Foxtrot, Tango 8, Bravo, and Bravo 1. Hold short of runway 05 left. 0 X-ray pop.
all right. So that's still pretty loud. That's the co-pilot voice, I think. So let's turn the co-pilot voice down so that won't be so loud. And all right. And let's do a weather request.
Raleigh-Durham International
Oh,
ground.
that didn't
0
work.
X-ray pop. Request flight conditions.
0 X-ray Papa. Wind 010 degrees at 6 knots. Visibility more than
Well,
10
zero
miles.
one. So
Rain. Sky conditions view at 10,000. Temperature 14. Dew point 0. Altimeter 2. 9 or 2.
fear at 10,000 and rain. Okay, so that's fear at 10,000, but I don't see any rain on the windshield, so it's not raining at the moment. All right, so let's release our brakes, find our brake button, and parking brake. Our parking brake is already released. Okay, so give it a little torque here. Or maybe it wasn't released. Let's try this again. All right. Now it should be released. Okay, so intuitively that's that was more backward than I expected. Oh, I got progressive taxi here. Cool. And follow the yellow brick road. And so this is Foxtrot. No, this is Juliet. And this is Charlie that I'm turning on. But this this is not so much about the taxiing, so I am going to just jump to the take. Okay, so I jumped back in to show you a little bit about the existing airport environment. Now, the assets, the buildings that X-Plane is putting at RDU by default is not representative of RDU whatsoever, at least not where I'm at. But there are and will be some payware packages that will show. All right, so we are just about at 5 left. We're not going to do a run up of any of that stuff. Um, just going to take off with permission. Okay. So all right, this is a whole short line here.
0 X-ray Papa. Contact Raleigh-Durham International Tower. 119.30.
Contact Raleigh-Durham International Tower. 119.30. 0 X-ray pop.
All right, so I was wondering if they were going to put that in for me and check in with control.
Raleigh-Durham International Tower. November 750 X-ray pop. Holding short of runway 05 left on Bravo 1.
So I do get control.
0 X-ray Papa. Squawk 3205. Fly heading 050. Wind 010 degrees at 5 knots. Runway 05 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Squawk 3205. Fly heading 050. Runway 05 left. Cleared for takeoff. 0 X-ray pop.
All right, so they should have put in my squawk code for me. And where's the squawk code, guys? Let's see. I don't see. Well, uh, it might be in the CDU, which I am. Okay, here we go. Um, Normal nav ATC is 1200 and squawk 3205. Squawk. Now how do I change it? So anyway, I've got a new aircraft to play around with to learn. Um, so let's see, what choices do I have? Um, Clear for takeoff, even though I didn't put my squawk code in. Um, they might call me on that, they might not, or they may have. Anyway, um, I should look where I'm going. All right, so that line up here. And let's put in some flaps. Landing light strobes are on. And takeoff power. And I'm gonna rotate at 120, I guess. Rotate. Positive rate. Tap the brake. Gear up. Back to climb power.
0 X-ray pop-up. Contact Raleigh-Durham International approach. 124.80.
Contact Raleigh Durham International approach 124.80. 0 X-ray pop.
Flaps up. And let's get an outside view of 10. Two. Back in the cockpit. And pull it back on the power. Oh man, we at 300 knots. This guy is crazy fast. Try to bleed off some of this speed and fly inverted here with this turn. All right, there's our airport. All right, so this is the 10, the Citation 10 with we're at ATC. Let's kill ATC now. Um, and I don't know if that turns it off, but I have to use that electronic trim on this guy. All right, so I got her trimmed. And let's see if we can bring her in for landing. All right, so speed brakes. Where are my speed brakes? Yeah, there they go. All right, so let's put in some speed brakes.
Sync rate.
And a little more. 100%. Try to get down to about 170. All right, let's take them out. All right. I haven't a clue where the airport is at. Should be around that lake, I think. No? All right, coming into view. All right, let's do some flaps and gear down. Landing lights and strobes are still on. And we'll take 5 left here
Sync rate.
and drop it like it's
1000.
hot,
Flying
right?
slow.
All right, getting a little slow.
Sync rate. Flying slow.
I'm so used to the trim wheel.
Too low. Terrain. Flying slow.
Okay, so if I got my 3 in the green, I don't see.
Sync rate. 500. Flying slow. 400.
Oh
Flying
man,
slow.
I'm back up to crazy speeds.
300. Flying slow.
But
200. Flying
this ain't
slow.
about flying. It's just about the sim, right?
100.
And the sim is said to use more of the first principle stuff.
20. 10.
Should be in reverse. All right. So anyway, guys, yeah, explain 12. And more will be revealed as we dive deeper into this simulator. Again, it's um, it's not about this simulator. It's not about competing visually with Microsoft Flight Sim. This is default. Getting tangled up here. This is default, and it is an open beta. So the beta is not free. Turn those engines down a little bit. The beta is not free, but if you buy the beta, then that entitles you to a license. So when it actually come out, then you can actually use the same sim. You could actually continue to use it, as it actually get out of beta and go into production and become the the sim of that you that you fly. Anyway, so yeah, guys, there's probably a lot of stuff that I missed. Um, well, before we leave, I would be remiss if I didn't look at the lakes, the water. So let's go to Logan. Okay, boss, and I do not fly at Logan, so that's not in it's so none of this will be procedural. Okay, so I'm restarting and I can look here and tell which is my left and right engine that's starting, which is I completely missed this when I initially started the sim up. I think there is something going a bug in the angle of attack. All right, so engine 2 is at 62% and it started. Engine 1 is coming alive. All right, so now we know. So let's just get in there. So it dawned on me that trying to look at the water in a citation didn't make sense. So I actually chose a different aircraft. Um, so I'm back in the Cessna 172, but I believe this one has floats on it, and it does. Let's see if we can get those up. I think that raises the the floats. I'm not sure. I can't tell that they whether or not they went up. And let's trim up a little bit. Let's see. Um, yeah, this has to be the lever to. Oh no, must be this guy here. There we go. I think this is for the water rudder. All right, so the water rudder should. Okay, yeah, that looks better. All right, so looks like the water's pretty calm at the moment. So let's see if we can set down on it. I think we're about 500 feet above it. I didn't set up a altimeter, so I don't really even know. But we've got plenty of water. I see a drilling platform out there, so we'll fly towards it and fly until we run out of energy. I'm at 1700, losing altitude at about 100 feet a minute. It's about what I want. That's a sailboat. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, trim it. Run some flaps. And we don't want to be fast on this landing. Don't want to stall either and slam into the water. And uh, I don't think I would have landed in real life because I porpoised there. Think I would have probably had a bad day. But let's see, do a quick review and see what that looked like. And I'm already on the water. So, so yeah, let's see what that part. Yeah, and then I had a kind of a nose down attitude. You want to land pretty much on this section, but oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so these, let's see now, my rudders are in the water. Let's get in and pull this back, and that should take my rudders out of the water. Or does it? Yep, it did. See now, rudders are out of it. The rudders are transparent, so that's a bug. But it is a beta. Uh, yeah, we shouldn't be able to see through those rudders. All right, let's drop him back in the water here. And that should give us the ability to point the plane in whatever direction. Now, one of the things that I did want to do is take a look at waves. So the wave heights right now is like half a foot, just over half a foot. Let's go with let's try to see what 2 foot waves look like. All right, apply. Okay, little white caps and a little bobbing. And yeah, they've got to do some work on figure out how to tell the program to make this a solid, non-transparent, and keep the water. You know, it's tough what they've got to do to make this look right. So I am not going to take. I'm not a programmer, but I can imagine what it takes. All right, let's go ahead and do max waves here. Uh, let's see, just to see what happens to this guy. So it looks like we can get 6 foot waves, and I'm not so sure that's 6 foot. I think I recall hearing. I think I recall hearing that 2 foot waves were the max on the waves, but I don't know. Maybe these. Well, in any case, I don't think I can take off in this, and I see my altimeter is not quite right. Let's see, let's pull this guy all the way back, and if I can take off in this, then this is totally unrealistic. Yeah, see, this is just way out of the realm of possibility. Taking off, but anyway, guys, you get the idea. So, explain 12. I hope I've been able to share some stuff with you that help you take a granular look at X-plane in some aspects. And of course, like I said, I will be flying this simulator. So until next time.
Y'all come back now. Cheers.